Hello, now we are going to look at construction 4. And construction 4 is where we have a given line and we're going to construct a line that is perpendicular at right angles to our original line. So our purple line is our construction line, L2 is our construction line. It's going to be perpendicular to the original line we're given, and it's going to go through a point P which is on the original line. So perpendicular, as I said, means at 90 degrees, and its symbol is an upside down t-square, and anytime we hear the word perpendicular we should think of slopes, and the slopes of perpendicular lines have a particular relationship. If we multiply them together we get the number -1, or phrasing this a different way, for perpendicular lines their slopes are the negative reciprocal of each other. So let's have a look at the description of this construction using more geometry type language. L2, the line we're going to construct, is perpendicular to L1. The point P is on L2, so we want this line, this perpendicular line, to go through our point P. But in this case, we want the point P to also be an element of the set L1. We want it to be on our original line. So it's in both sets. So that is our setup. So this is our original line, and this is going to be our point, and we want to get the perpendicular to this original line going through this point. Well, if we think about perpendiculars to lines, where we've come across that concept before is with a perpendicular bisector of a line segment, and effectively that's how we're going to construct this. There are technically two ways to do it, and we're going to look at both of them, but the most important one is what links to more broadly what we already know. So we're going to look at our construction where we are effectively just doing a perpendicular bisector. So we bring over our compass, and we're going to put the point of the compass at the point on our line that we're interested in. So the point of the compass is now at the point P in this diagram. You open up the compass to whatever length is kind of convenient for what you're doing. You want it to be big enough that you can easily see the steps in what you're doing and easily see the construction marks at the end, but not so big that we're going off the end of the page. So we open it up and we mark an arc on one side. Make sure that arc is very visible. We need to see it on our page at the end. And then we keep the compass at exactly the same size. We draw an arc on the other side. So that is our initial compass work done. Now what that has produced is a little line segment. Going from here to here, where our arcs cross each other, is given us a line segment, a bit of a line that's in between these two crossing points. Well, now if I get, because this length is the same as this length, the point P is the midpoint of these 2 points. So if I get the perpendicular bisector between these two arcs, that's going to give me what I'm looking for. It's going to give me a line perpendicular to my original line that goes through my midpoint P. So I move my compass over to where my arc crosses here, and I need to open up my compass so that it's a bit more than halfway, which means it has to be a little bit more than past the point P. And then I can start to draw my arc, and I can do a big arc all the way up and down, or I could just do an arc up here and an arc down here. Either is fine. And then I'm going to keep the compass exactly the same size, and I am going to draw an arc around here. And if I take my compass out of the way now, if I draw a straight edge, so if I draw a straight line using a straight edge between those, where those arcs cross each other, I must get the perpendicular bisector between those two original arcs that I created out here, and that is going to be this purple line here is a line that is going to be perpendicular to our original line, and it is going to go through our point that we were interested in, because we deliberately created our arcs out here to give us the point we were interested in as the midpoint. So that's how we can construct our line using a compass and a straight edge. If we were explicitly asked to, we can also construct this using a set square. And we're going to look at that now. So to do this with our set square, we take one of our standard triangles that's in our construction set, and we are going to sit it along our original line, and then we're going to slide that along until we come to the point that we are interested in, our point P as drawn up here. And then we just use the fact that this is given to us as a right angle triangle, and we can simply draw a line down through that goes to the point that we are interested in. And from there we have completed our construction. Now it's important that we know how to do this. It links into some things that we need to do later on, but the most important one in general is building off of what we already understand about constructing our perpendicular bisectors as we did before. We can draw in our perpendicular symbol there. And that is what we need for now.